We are back, SFTB. Major technical difficulties on our end. We apologize for anybody who was watching, and we had to cut that short. But just to give you guys a quick, brief overview of May 19th, which is a sold out 7-hour day of education. You get 7 CEUs. You're going to get a pool lunch, and we are going to cover a myriad of subjects for you guys, from Xenogen, all nutrient, she hair extensions, on stage hair extensions, therapy. We're going to all that crammed into one day. The last one we did was a huge success, even with Eddie pushing me downstairs. And then Eddie almost chopping his hand off with a tray table.
I forgot about that.
You're going to listen to me talk for a couple of minutes while Eddie tries to cover up our technical blunder from about 20 minutes ago, which was completely all my fault. You can go to htbbeauty.com, go to the education section, and there is now, I believe, and Eddie can confirm this, is that May 19th is sold out.
May 19th is sold out, yeah.
So we're doing June
16th.
June 16th. We're going to do a third date. It'll be a Monday. Once again, 7 CEU hours. You get a lunch. You get to spend the day with me and Eddie and Darren. And we're going to cover all those subjects and more. It's a great time. The day goes really fast, believe it or not. I know everybody rolls their eyes and is like, oh my God, I got to sit in the classroom for a day. Well, the coolest part, first off, is this room. It's like a stadium type teaching room. And it is these big, cushy office chairs. Your butt's not going to be stuck in a folding chair for 7 hours. We had great feedback from the last one. Obviously, we will cover the 16th for you guys, and then we're going to do it in June again. So once again, htbbeauty.com. Now, we kind of are doing an abbreviated SFTB today because we had some definite technical difficulties, and we're going to move. We're going to omit the quiz. We'll do the quiz. We'll do that same quiz again next week when both of us can hear each other. But we're going to move right on to which is a better way to dry hair, air versus heat. And
which side do you want to take?
Huh?
Do you want to debate this, or do you want to just go right into it?
I see. I'm a firm believer in air drying. I mean, not that I won't wield my blow dryer in anger, but I just think air drying is the best way to go. Talk me out of that. Change my mind.
Them's fighting words, and we can't be friends no more.
Finally.
And that's
all I have to say to you. I didn't know this was the breaking point. I would have touched this 16 years ago. Tell me. All right, Ninja. Tell me.
Everything about it is a terrible idea. You convince me why you think that using no heat on your hair, this whole thing about no heat is the best way to do life. You convince me otherwise.
Okay. Well, here
all I have for you to convince you that air drying is a bad idea, all I have for you is science and facts. So let's hear this harebrained
science and facts.
That's all I have to be able to convince you is raw data and a billion before and after pictures.
Yeah, with filters.
Screenshots.
With filters. Number one. Number two.
I don't need a filter.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let me ask you this there, Captain Technology. Hold on, I gotta move in my seat now. So let me ask you this then. So back in the day of your girl Cleopatra and all of those women, all the way up until I think it was 1920 something that the first blow dryer was made. How did they style their hair?
If you notice any period pieces, they all look like crap.
Really? So you're saying Cleopatra looked like crap?
Cleopatra was ahead of her time. Okay.
Uh-huh.
She smoothed her hair out by using a crap ton of product because she didn't have a blow dryer back then.
Okay.
And if you look at the Victorian era, everybody had updos and pinned their hair up because they couldn't style their hair for nothing.
Well, they wore wigs. Most of them wore wigs.
And they wore wigs because their hair was crap because they didn't have blow dryers. And then other areas of the world was heavy on braids because they didn't have blow dryers. Let me ask you this. In modern day time now, because apparently not enough people give a crap about history. In modern day time now, where we are, was Vidal Sassoon known for frizz-fried hair, or was he known for beautiful, sleek hair?
Silky smooth hair? Silky smooth?
Okay.
Okay, Zohan.
Exactly. There's a whole entire movie made about hairdressing that goes over blow drying and styling nonstop for an hour and a half.
Okay, so let me hit you with this then, big shooter. All right, fine. Hair blow dried by a hairdresser compared to works for me. Hair blow dried by a client. Have you ever watched your clients blow dry their hair? I know you have because you hand them the brush and the blow dryer for their bangs. I know you do that. Have you ever watched what some of these women do to their hair?
It's better than letting it air dry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. With the blow dryer on full heat, full blown, right on top of the brush. That's better than letting it naturally dry, letting the natural oils and everything through the hair. We're just going to burn it off with the blow dryer every day.
What is the natural oils through the hair going to do?
Keep the hair soft and supple.
Help me understand what's happening to the hair as it air dries.
All the moisture is leaving the hair and it's left in its natural, beautiful, luxurious state.
How?
Does Carm blow dry her hair?
Yes. She diffuses it. She diffuses it.
But we're talking about blow drying. We're talking about blow styling, right? Diffusing and blow styling is two different things. What does she do? She cups it. That's easy. I'm talking about the people that attack their hair with a brush and a blow dryer.
You are purposeful. You are such a putz, and you're pissing me off. You're doing this on purpose. You are poking me.
You wanted to play point counterpoint. So
what happens to the hair when it has moisture in it?
It lays the way it should.
There is going to be somebody out here watching this that's going to take you seriously right now. I swear to God. Let's turn this into a teaching moment. I'm done. We're going to move on to our next topic.
Wait, okay. All right. All joking aside.
I'm going to beat you senseless.
Look at this. This is a nice change, guys.
This topic frustrates the living crap out of me to no end.
Guys, I'm kidding. For everybody watching, I'm playing around about the natural drying of hair. I'm serious,
bro. This social media trend of letting hair air dry, it makes me mental.
I know. And I had to go with it. I'm at
my limit. I can't take it anymore.
And for everybody watching, I actually agree with Eddie. I am just doing the point counterpoint thing with him just to get him all tweaked up. Come on,
Yeah,
we
well,
know
that's right.
we know with the proper products and the right kind of styling aids and a blow dryer and a brush, hair can be absolutely 100,000 times more gorgeous than if you just shampoo it, threw a little something in it, and just walked out the door. We all know this. Everybody knows this.
But they don't, because there's this whole freaking trend going around that letting your hair air dry magically is going to be better than using heat, because heat equals freaking damage automatically, like by default for some reason.
And what's the next trend? Taking a bath with your flat iron? I mean, really?
I guess that would that be better than a toaster?
It's the same. It'd probably be the same thing.
I don't want to find out.
But
I don't want to know.
but see here's the one thing that I am gonna kind of take a little counterpoint with you on is, for us as stylists, if a client brings that up to us, that whole subject, it should be, I mean, we should educate them, like you said, like you just did. Let's turn this into a teaching moment for our clients. Okay, if we don't do this, this, and this is what your hair is going to look like. This is why you're sitting in my chair and you came to me. See, this takes me all the way back to why I make notes when clients talk to me about stuff. So I can come back to them and go, remember how you were complaining about how frizzy your hair was? Has it been? Well, no. Okay. So if you let your hair air dry, say you're on vacation and you didn't have travel sizes, you let your hair air dry on vacation, what happens to your hair? And they'll tell you, oh, it's horrible. I wear a hat. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did mention two other things too that I want to point out. This whole thing started from exactly like you were saying earlier, is that when people go in and they attack their hair with a brush, they take the blow dryer, they make a direct contact to the blow dryer, direct contact to the brush, and they burn the crap out of their hair. That's how this whole thing about no heat drying started. And it's simply because people aren't taught how to blow dry their hair properly. The second thing you mentioned is, you've seen me, I do it all the time. I just did it on Saturday again a couple of times. I hand my blow dryer and my brush to the client. I don't walk away. I stand right there and I teach them better ways of how to handle the blow dryer and the brush.
Right.
So they don't burn the crap out of their hair. That directed heat is going to seal the cuticle and close everything down, smooth that hair out, which is going to protect that style longer, and that style is going to last longer. So
right. I am with you 100%. This is, I mean, and this could open up Pandora's box for us, because I have a blow dry station for the clients that want to just get in and out real quick. It makes me cringe, but it's what they wanted. And I will comment when they're blow drying their hair. And what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, why don't you try it this way? But then I have my clients that come with the Revlon blower brush. Remember those old?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Those things are back in style. They're coming back.
Yeah,
okay. But here's the deal. With your blow dryer and your round brush, with the nozzle on your blow dryer, what direction is the air going when you blow dry?
With a nozzle, it's just going one direction, focused.
Right. But you usually go down the hair shaft with the blow dryer.
If you're holding the blow dryer downward, then the air flow would be going down. Yeah.
These things, the air blows out. Okay. And so if you have that texture of hair, you're going to get a little bit of a roughing of cuticle. I'm not saying they're awful. I'm just saying their hair looks better than if they let it air dry. So if worse comes to worse, you can go with that. But my point being is, just like you said, you can turn this into a teaching moment, and explain to your clients. And product is important, especially someone like we were talking about Carmelina, someone like Carmelina with that overly curly hair, to make it look like something. Could you imagine if she didn't put product in her hair and let it air dry?
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay, we're just using Carmelina as an example because most of you guys.
What is it? Is it a dandelion? What's that white?
Yeah, it's a dandelion. Yeah,
the white poof.
Yeah.
The ball flower.
Yeah, all she would need is some bell bottoms and some platform shoes, and she would look like she was from the 70s because she would have the fro. I mean, that's the long and the short of all this is truly that proper styling techniques are taught by us. Okay? Not YouTube, not TikTok, not whatever else people watch on social media. It is taught by us and the professionals that people come to see. And I mean all of us, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in, I always say this, if you're in a high-end salon or you are in a small independent shop, teach your clients. That's our job. That's part of our job. Because in the long run, it'll make our lives easier. True or false?
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. In May, we need to bring that up during the program as well, too.
I agree.
We need to bring this topic up in
I agree. I think we should even do a little, have little props where we have a mannequin that was air dried and a mannequin that was blow dried.
Easy enough.
Yeah, there's only six giant boxes back in the warehouse.
Yeah, easy enough. I show you exactly what not blow dried hair looks like. All right, so that's that topic. Now, volume or length. I don't know why, since we're arguing today, I don't know why when it comes to the subject of hair extensions, that it has to be one or the other. I just don't get it. Everybody wants both, but yet we're constantly forcing everybody to choose between one or the other, volume or length.
I'm confused. Can you expound on that a little more? Because I'm going back to my client Robin that you know and love, who got the worst haircut ever known to man, and we fixed it with extensions, and we gave her both volume and length because we had to fill in those dog ears that someone texturized into her. So I'm a little unclear. Why is that a thing now? Are people having to choose either length or length?
It's so crazy. It's so crazy because keratin strands, K-tips, keratin bonds, however you want to say them, it's not like they ever went away. But everything trend comes up and comes and goes, right?
Right.
So K-tips right now are trending, and they're trending strong.
They're big,
which is fine because they've always been around. They've been around the longest out of anything else. They work. They're awesome. What I don't understand though is this thing that we have to, we have to put them in. We need 100, we need 200, we need 150. Like everybody's always talking about full heads. Everybody's always talking about as much length as possible, as much length as possible. It naturally will create volume. Yeah, sure, it will. But I don't think enough people talk about just get a couple of packs and don't worry about extending length. Just use the length that the client has and just fill that up and thicken that up. Everybody thinks my hair is thin and fine. I need more hair. I need it to be longer. If your hair is already thin and fine at whatever length you're at, extending that length is just going to make it more straggly looking unless you load your hair up with a full head. Well, doing a full head is expensive, man. $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. I don't know. Depends where you are, what part of the country you're in, and it depends how big or small your hair, it depends on so many different things. What I think is overlooked really, really bad. I don't know why it's so overlooked. Just get a couple of packs, fill in what you already have at whatever length you're already at. Just thicken that up, make volume that way. You'll just naturally enhance your look that much more.
Right.
But there is this thing where everybody just feels like they need to have length. Length equals better. Length equals volume. Length equals sexy. Length equals everything else. I don't know why. Volume is like such an afterthought that if you had to choose between the two, the problem is majority of the people are choosing length.
Right.
And I think thicker, fuller, more hair is better than having long hair
Well,
at the expense of being thin and straggly.
Well, I'm gonna use your words with science and facts. If you take that long hair that you put in with K-tips, after you get a little bit of outgrowth, what happens? That hair starts gravity comes into play, right? So you have these long lengths, and what happens? That hair no longer is doing this; it's now doing this. You know what I mean? Where it starts laying flatter. So, I agree with you. I agree with you. That match the length that you have, but there are too many people out there that want that length. They want that mermaid hair. I did a consultation with a girl, and I told her, I said, the longest we can go is 22 inches. Because she wanted the other hair extension system. And I said, the longest we can go is 22 inches. And she's like, oh, that's not long enough. I want mermaid hair. I want it down here, like to the top of my rib cage.
Okay.
And I just went, and then when I told her what the price of that would be, then she was like, oh, well,
never mind. Right.
Well, it was I'll have to talk to my mom about that. And I was like, okay,
Here's the other thing about keratin strands. They come in 26-inch long hair, 26 to 28-inch long hair. You could get that extreme length to create those kind of looks. The customization and the ability to be able to do it is just absolutely amazing. 100%. It's just something that's been bothering me because this past weekend, especially, it's just one of those. It was an insane week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I had 5 days in a row. I had hair extension classes all 5 days in a row. Usually my days are broken up. I'll teach extensions on one day, color on another day, hair extensions again, or then, a blow dry, a haircut. Like my days are broken up. Every other day is something different. This particular weekend, man, it was just every single day in a row, all hair extensions nonstop. It was wild, but it showed me every single day. I had to sit there and break it down. Yes, there is money to be made in length, but equally, if not more, there is money to be made in volume and thickening hair. So it's just something to think about. It's just something really big to think about.
It is. It is.
Hair extensions does not just equal length. With strategically placing a couple of packs, 20, 30, 40, 50 strands.
You could achieve a lot with that. You really can.
So much.
Yeah,
So much.
I agree. I agree with you. I can't even take the opposite side of that with you because I share that same philosophy that you do.
So that's what I got on that one.
Are we back to being friends again? Because you just disowned me earlier, and I'm
it depends.
I'm feeling a little self-conscious.
Depends if you can motivate me.
Can I?
It depends.
How can I motivate you? Allow me, sir.
This would work so much better if you had a monocle.
I have a surprise for you coming up. Dutch. It's for everybody to tune in at future date.
Okay.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Is that it? No. The title
I
of
have
that
one.
is, where'd it go?
You need help?
A lot. I saved it into a special. I am having such technical difficulties, guys. You have no clue.
Your technical difficulty is life.
Look, over the past 2 weeks, I was ready to stop life. I was going to get in my car and drive.
You, you know, with computers, you could turn it off and on again. Could you imagine if there was a reset button on it?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Turn it off and on. That'd be something. I got one for you.
Oh, are you sure? Because I found it.
Oh, all right. Since you found it, then I guess I have to be your friend.
Yeah, no. What if I don't want you to be my friend anymore?
Don't tease me.
I thought I got out of this. Okay, this comes from the man who is from our state, Abraham Lincoln.
Whoa.
You ready?
Okay.
Be sure to put your feet in the right place and then stand firm.
Because standing in dog dookie sucks.
Yes, it does. Trust me, I have 2 dogs.
It's a
Which means stand behind your beliefs. Stand your ground. That's what that means to me. This is you. I know nobody better at digging in like a tick than you.
my stubbornness knows no end.
No, you're wrong. Oh, okay, Eddie. But from Abraham Lincoln, be sure to put your feet in the right place and then stand firm. If you believe in something, guys, stick to it, stand to it. And that applies to so much in our industry, yet alone in life. I know people who just don't. They're like plastic bags in the wind. They just go whichever way they blow. I've seen people get taken advantage of in our industry, and they won't stand firm on their beliefs. And all I'm saying is, Abe is honest. Abe is right. Be sure to put your feet in the right place, then stand firm.
That is the hardest thing to do. It really is the hardest thing to do. Because the client tells you, I want this, and you're looking at them going, you shouldn't have that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they start complaining or they start whining, right? Think of your kids. Your kids, I want this. No, you can't have that. And then kid starts whining, throwing a tantrum. You're like, oh God, just shut up. Just take it. Just be quiet. Somebody says, hey, I want you to do this for me. And you're like, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to do that right now. Oh, come on, man. Come on, just do this for me. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Like, every single day, multiple times a day, there are instances where you don't want to do something and you are talked into, forced into, guilted into, whatever the words you want to use to plug into that sentence. You end up doing something that you did not want to do. You were not in the mood to do.
Right.
And that sucks. That really, really sucks.
And once again, one of the biggest things that I've learned from you is to stand firm with my clients.
It's hard. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And especially if it's the clients that you really connect with. I mean, you and we all have them that we connect on a different level, and to be able to tell them, no. I learned that from you, and actually, there's a lot of things in life that you just got to stand firm on. So stand firm, guys, in your beliefs.
Talk about life too. That's even harder, especially you have to stand for something yourself. Like there is family value, there is societal value, there is expectation. But is that expectation yours, or is that expectation somebody else's of yours? That is the most difficult thing, you know? And it all comes down to, what are you willing to sacrifice? You know, and that conviction, that all comes down to conviction.
Trust me, as a guy who over the past 2 weeks has had to stand very firm, especially with family pressures and not extended family pressures. You know what? Stand your ground, guys, because when you get up in the morning and you look at that person in the mirror, you got to like that person. And if you keep giving in and keep being I can't use that word. Gosh darn it.
But it's true, man. You've had it, you've had it rough this past couple of weeks.
We're not gonna get into that here.
No, but you know what? My whole life has been my whole life.
Yeah.
It's constantly getting kicked for something that goes against, for thinking against the grain.
Is it against the grain, or is it actually thinking the right way and they're against the grain?
But everybody is right in their own way. It's just finding how to coexist.
That's it.
That's the biggest struggle of life in general.
I agree.
Is finding a way to coexist. I think the problem, what happens is, too many times we cave. We give up our personal conviction. We go with the flow because, God forbid, we cause any animosity. That turns into, I don't know, guilt or what is it when you start, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. What is that feeling called? Regret. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Yeah. Regret and guilt starts turning into animosity and hatred.
Right.
And it's seeding.
Right.
And that just becomes negativity. And then you just hate the person in front of you. You hate anybody who reminds you of the person in front of you that's making you feel that way. And then it turns into a whole cause, and that is going that direction. And then it crashes into another version of people from the opposite side who are coming at you from the opposite way. And then there's no more coexistence. That's how we have the war that we have now in life with each other. On a micro scale and on a macro scale and everything else. I mean, that's just adulting in 101. It's just, so yeah.
When do we get to stop adulting?
When you figure out how to turn it off and on again. When you figure out the technological equivalent to the reset button for life.
Okay, so I do have one story to share, and then we'll close this out. One of my favorite clients in the world. Okay, she is 93 years old and comes in to get her color and cut. And I love talking with her because she tells me all these stories from way back when, and she, every time she comes in, she's starting to like get a little redundant. Like, hopefully when I get old, I'm just going to tell the same stories over and over again. But she keeps telling me, she goes, John, come here. And she goes, just remember one thing. Getting old isn't for the weak. But she uses another word. She uses another word that we can't say because then YouTube will throw us out. And she's this adorable little 5'0" thing. I freaking love her. And she's, every time she just tells me getting old isn't for the weak. I'm like, okay. So that she brightened my day yesterday, day before yesterday, and on Sunday morning, and I was like, awesome. And because I did her a favor, I came in on Sunday morning for her to do her hair, because Easter's coming this weekend, and you got to look good for church. So,
gotcha.
We've got all the holidays in a row, don't we? A bunch of them coming up.
I am so behind on holidays and stuff that you are right. There is a whole bunch of stuff coming up.
So I won't be getting an Easter basket from you then, is what you're saying?
No, man. Eggs are $75 a carton, so you're gonna get a plastic egg. I can't. Even the bunny can't lay eggs right now. That's too expensive.
Well, how about Peeps? You could just get me Peeps.
Nope, I don't do chickens.
No, they make them in bunnies and all kinds of different shapes now. I saw them at the store yesterday.
Peeps are chickens. That's it.
I'm not allowed to eat them anyway. Aaron would kill you. So
that's what we got for you this week. You tune in next week. We will have more shenanigans.
And hopefully no technical difficulties.
I make no promises. I promise nothing. I take everything.
Thank you. Have a great week, and hopefully the Easter Bunny visits everybody.
Catch you next week.
Peace.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.